Okay, Jim, I attack the dragon's wing. Okay, that's a hit. That's 50 points of damage. Okay, you've injured the dragon's wing. That's the end of your turn. Now it's gonna be the dragon's turn. Hold on, Jim. Yeah. What? The dragon should fall 500 feet on my turn. No, wait, no, I thought that it would fall at the end of its turn, no? Oh, but it is. Wait, so it falls 500 feet on your turn and at the end of its turn. So 1,000 feet the first round. Yep. Well, you guys were only, what, 400 feet maximum off the floor anyway? So, what, I guess it's just dead before it even gets a turn. Hello and welcome to Grit and Glory, the brand new TTRPG that is ready to upgrade your gaming experience. I have great news. The Kickstarter for Grit and Glory, for this project to be actually, become a reality, it's live right now. It's from the 24th of September until the 24th of October. So go back it ASAP. But, you're here now, you might as well give us a little like, comment and subscribe. Just help appease the YouTube algorithm, grow the channel a little bit so we can get more amazing people like you on board. But that's enough with the very shameful plugging. On with the video. In D&D, falling is fast and furious. As soon as you take a step off that ledge, you plummet 500 feet immediately, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Well, without magic, of course. Now, this definitely does seem realistic and make falling feel a lot more dangerous. However, it's not something I'm the greatest fan of. In Grit and Glory, instead of instantaneous falling, we have something I like to call coyote time. Now, I have seen D&D games that have tried to implement this. Basically, what it means is that if you are about to fall, you get one free action before that. But because of how D&D's action, bonus action, reaction system works, this can either be super overpowered or just completely useless. And I mean, realistically, it just stops falling from happening ever, because most of the time they can use that coyote reaction to just stop themselves from falling by teleporting. But Grit and Glory is not limited in this way. Because of our action point system, the coyote time rules are very easy to implement. What it means is that you can basically just do any action you choose. However, the action points for that action, the cost for it is doubled. So you have to have the available action points in order to do it. Another reason that this works quite well is because unlike in D&D where your action and bonus action have to take place on your turn, in Grit and Glory, action points are meant to be spent on your turn and other people's turns. So this fits in quite smoothly into the system that already exists.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And the fact that the action point cost for the action is doubled actually adds a bit of a dynamic strategy to it. Do you spend those action points then, or do you save them till after you've fallen to use for a much better purpose? This isn't just something for the players to think about, the GM can do it too. Maybe they have the monster grab a player as they fall. Or maybe one of the PCs who's holding the MacGuffin they've been after, who's just been thrown off of a ledge, chooses to throw it back to one of their allies, hoping to save that and stop it from being doomed along with them, as a last noble sacrifice. But that isn't everything we've changed. We've also done something pretty different, because in D&D, once you're falling, you're just falling. That's it. There's nothing. It's basically you fall 500 feet and then you have a normal turn. And then you fall 500 feet and have a normal turn. But in Grit and Glory, we respect the fact that falling is pretty chaotic. So in order to not be in that chaotic free death fall, you have to recover. Now, recovering for a non-flying character costs 4 action points. And that is basically your entire turn for most people. But if you can fly, it only costs 2. Now, you really want to recover, because if you don't, you can't do anything. Pretty much you're bad at making attacks, casting spells, even flying. And that's not to mention the fact you'd be falling 600 feet per turn, plummeting towards your death. But once you have recovered, not only do you lose all the negatives to those actions, but you also gain the ability to control your fall. Now, this means for a non-flyer, you can choose to slow fall, or you can choose to dive. Now, slow falling reduces the amount that you fall by 20 feet per action point you spend. And diving does the opposite. It increases how much you fall. But if you can fly, then this is a whole different ballgame. Once you've recovered, you don't slow fall, you can just stop falling for one action point. But if you dive, you can dive with speed. If you dive with a fly speed, that means you don't just dive an additional 20 feet, it's 20 feet plus your movement speed. And remember, that is on top of the 600 feet you'd naturally be falling anyway. So if you want to feel the wind rush through your hair, then, I don't know, go outside, ride a bike, stick your head out the car window. But if you want to feel like your character has the wind rushing through their hair, then it's time to play Grit and Glory. I hope you enjoyed that video in all of its nerdy glory, but now is time to talk about the Kickstarter. It is really important, I can't stress this enough. As much work as me and the team have put into this game, it simply cannot become a reality without the backing of people like you. So, if you can go and check it out in the description below, that would actually help us with getting these books printed and getting them shipped out to tables like yourself. In the meantime though, you know, once you've finished all of that and given all of your money to us, you might as well check out some of these two videos here.